Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I felt inspired to speak on something a little bit different, and it's about a very specific aspect of the twin flame connection that I have not necessarily explored in depth in its own video. And this is about twin flames and timelines. So there is one very strong sign of a twin flame connection. And it is that because your twin flame carries the same core soul frequency as your own, meaning it's an identical match frequency, whereas soulmates and soul family will be very similar, but also harmonious frequencies. You could think of it like if you're a musician, two different notes that, yes, the notes are different. They hold different tones, but they are harmonious. Those are our soul family. Our twin flame holds an identical frequency, and that is also why a twin flame is such an amplifier, meaning it can amplify our own frequency in the best kinds of ways, but at times it can also feel like it's amplifying our wounding and our triggering as well. It just amplifies all of it because it's like two of the same note put together becoming very loud. All of our own patterns, both the good and the parts of us that are holding us back, become louder in the presence of a twin flame because of that same frequency at the core of both of us. But when it comes to timelines, I wanted to talk about this a little bit because we've explored timelines pretty in depth, just not in the context of twin flame specifically, but a timeline is essentially a trajectory of life energetically that carries a very particular frequency. So when you dial in a certain frequency, it aligns you with a new timeline. This is also why, and maybe some of you have noticed this recently, but when you are between timelines, you often feel like you're in a void space where it's like, am I invisible to people who usually contact me, reach out to me? You might feel like people aren't connecting with you as much, or you're very alone, or things might feel kind of strange or haywire in a way. Those can be signs that you are actually between timelines. And what I mean by that is that you've dialed in a new timeline based on a new frequency that you've started embodying, but that frequency hasn't yet built the momentum to fully manifest the physical form of that timeline. Like the timeline hasn't fully materialized. So you're still in the process of being ejected from the old timeline, but the new one hasn't yet fully materialized around you. So in the future, if you'd like, you can let me know in the comments if you want a video on more signs that you are between timelines, because I do feel that many of us collectively are really shifting very rapidly these days, and you will often find yourself in those in-between places before a major level up in your life. But when it comes to your twin flame has the ability, not only the ability, but they naturally can follow you and do follow you on a soul level. I mean, of course, I'm not talking physically necessarily and we'll get into that, but it's up to you how you want to define the physical relationship with your twin flame. But I'm talking about the soul energetics, the deeper connection that we all feel if you've been on this journey that's beneath all of the material, all of the physical, all of the superficial. That connection beneath the surface follows you into every version of yourself, every timeline, every dimension. And this is because it's connected to you at the core. So there are many different people and connections that can connect with you at different levels and layers. So what often happens, for example, there's so much to talk about here. There are so many nuances because I know the natural question is, what about your soulmates, right? Because soulmates also do have the ability to follow you into new timelines. But what I'm hearing is they don't accompany you through the in-between process necessarily. So what I mean by that is, oh, this gets so complex, but I'm just going to trust that for the specific group this video is for, you will know how this connects for you. It's so challenging sometimes to find the physical human words to describe experiences like this that are so deeply personal and spiritual and energetic. But yes, okay, your soul family can follow you into other timelines in an evolved kind of way. But often when you're in the midst of the transformation or the leveling up in kind of that in-between space, in the void space, you can also feel a little bit of energetic disconnectedness even from soulmates. Like when you go deep into that darkness, into that forest of yourself, that kind of cavern of isolation that we're talking about, you often feel very closed off to everyone and everything. And really all you feel is that frequency within yourself during those times. Of course, these periods of time, they are initiations. They aren't meant to last forever. And often we can take breaks between initiations because it can be very intense to go through this initiation of aloneness, of disconnectedness to level ourselves up. But what I'm picking up is that a twin flame, in a sense, their energy is there to support you even in the void space, even in the transformation. On an energetic and spiritual level, you will still feel that connectedness to this person when you're in the void, even when you feel a bit disconnected from soul family and soul friends. The thing I like to say about this is, and again, it's kind of hard to describe, but your soulmates will support you at whatever level you're at. And for the purpose of this reading, we'll call levels timelines. So your soulmates will support you on whatever timeline you choose to be on, but they will not push you to level yourself up to a new timeline, if that makes sense. And when you do the work to level yourself up to a higher timeline, you can feel a little disconnected from even your soulmates in the process of that, because they are there to support you, to stabilize you, to comfort you, to harmonize with you where you're at, but they're not necessarily pushing you to go further or to reach a higher level or to aim higher. The thing about twin flame energy is it's like this constant upward push within you. Your twin flame is constantly pushing you to elevate, constantly pushing you to reach higher, to expand your vision, to reach for a higher dream, to reach for a higher goal. And again, I'm talking about the energy and the journey beneath the surface, because you don't have to choose to lock in a physical romantic relationship with your twin flame, even in order to receive that benefit from the connection. That is already happening subconsciously and automatically, just as a result of you having been consciously activated by a twin flame in this lifetime. So again, it's up to you how you want to define the physical relationship with a twin flame, but their energy, their essence is constantly propelling you into higher levels of growth and higher levels of whatever that looks like for you, making your vision even bigger, making your dreams even bigger, continuing to reach for a better version of yourself. Your soulmates tend to offer you a very harmonious, supportive love at whatever level you're at. This is why many of us, when we ask for change in our life, the universe sends us a twin flame. And for some of us here in this collective, that's how you ended up on this journey to begin with. I can guarantee that for so many of you, if you look back on prior to you even having any knowledge of what a twin flame is, prior to coming across this term, prior to meeting this person, you probably had a moment where you thought, I want my life to mean more. I want to do something more with my life. Or maybe you had a dream or a goal and you reached out to the universe and you said, I want to do this. I want to become this version of myself. I want to be positively transformed in this way. I want to do this dream, or just like whatever it is. And you can probably connect the dots to you requesting that of the universe. And then within a short period of time, the universe sent you a conscious connection with your twin flame that activated that energy within you that refuses to settle, that constantly elevates you and propels you to a higher level of spiritual consciousness and awareness, which naturally corresponds in the manifestations that you bring into your life materially as well, aligning with some sense of your own passion or purpose in this life. Many of you will be able to look back as well and see that as a byproduct or some kind of result of having met or connected with your twin flame, you ended up changing your entire life, or totally realigning yourself, becoming this more soulful, authentic expression of yourself. And for many of us, it activates us onto this, well, I should say all of us. The twin flame journey activates everyone onto a profound journey of self-love in addition to all of this, because it's teaching you unconditional love, and unconditional love is learned through the self. It's this slow unraveling of all of the artificial barriers and blockages that we pick up consciously and subconsciously that prevent us from accessing our own love. And so essentially, I feel that I was guided to do this video because so many of you, regardless of whether you've chosen to connect or reconnect physically with your twin flame's physical form, or whether you've chosen to maybe manifest in or connect with a beautiful soulmate relationship, or to focus on yourself, whatever this journey has become for you. And that is entirely up to you. And there's no right or wrong in any of that, only what's right for you. But whatever this journey has become for you, I feel this was meant to explain why ever since meeting your twin flame, you've felt both this constant connection to them, but also this perpetual desire to elevate within yourself, always desiring to expand your vision, to reach for that next level of your becoming, to align more with an even more authentic expression of yourself, to love yourself even more deeply. The twin flame journey activated all of that within you, and you called it in consciously prior to connecting with this person. I'm hearing, now what? Maybe that's kind of like what your soul is asking. It's like, I've made it this far, now what? And really the answer is you get to decide what to do with this transformed version of yourself. And that is the beauty of your life, that you are the author of it, that you can create beautiful things or businesses or a career path or a family or a life with this energy that you've come into, that you've earned, that you've graduated into, essentially. And I do feel that for many of you, it's kind of like you're at that crossroads with the Two of Swords. Like, okay, I've made it this far. Now, what do I do with this energy? Where do I go from here? Can I get any more information on this? Okay, so to go back to the timeline conversation, I feel that if this reading has been for you, the reason that you manifested this may be because you've been wondering why your twin flame's energy seems to follow you in one form or another to every single timeline. It's like on a soul level, even if you're disconnected physically, their soul is cheering you on and constantly pushing you to elevate. And your souls are collaboratively working together behind the scenes, spiritually and energetically, to align each of you with your highest timeline in this life. That is a beautiful aspect of the twin flame journey. Can I get any more information here? I feel like for some of you listening, you have recently or are right on the brink of a massive timeline level up in your life where things have begun to or are about to change very quickly for you. Some kind of major breakthrough. Yeah, you may feel some sort of new energy in this direction, or you may have new ideas that have been coming to mind lately. And I'm seeing with the King of Wands, this could represent one of two things, or maybe both of these things for some of you, but I see it representing either or and. your internal masculine because you've learned how, I'm hearing, to protect yourself, to protect your peace. You've literally carved yourself into this version of you that is so strong and so stable and so self-supported and capable. And I do see some element of like you looking back at a younger version of yourself and thinking like, I feel like I was never really cut out for this. Like maybe you were someone who actually struggled with low self-worth or self-confidence, or who had anxieties or other mental health related things, or you were someone who came from a very tough background. You had a very difficult start in life, because I'm getting this feeling of like, I'm hearing like the most shy person in the room becomes the most confident and magnetic person in the room, becomes the leader, or really was the leader all along. I'm getting a wave of chills as I say this, because a message I feel like I've been getting here is like, you were that leader all along, that little girl or that little boy within you that was so tentative or so shy or struggled in their life. They were the leader in the making. I'm hearing that it's not in spite of your experiences that you've been molded into this leader. It's actually because of them. It's because you went through what you went through that you were given a perspective to be able to understand all of humanity, to have true, deep empathy for people who are struggling, or people who do have their own challenges with either their mental health or their emotions or their own anxieties. Because what I'm getting is, it's just so beautiful, because you didn't become the person that you are now in spite of those beginnings, but because of them. It's like it was meant to be all along. You were always meant to go through this process of evolution. And in doing so, I'm seeing that you going through that transformation is inspiring others as well. This is how you are a leader. You are leading other people out of their own darkness because you've been through your own. Can I get any other information here? Of course, this King of Wands also could be secondarily an external masculine, where you have an external masculine energy. Could be a Sagittarius or Scorpio coming up here, or a fire sign generally. But I feel like this is someone who's very protective of you, very much a visionary in their own right, inspiring to you. For some of you, this could be someone that you've already met or connected with. It could be your twin flame going through their own process of evolution to become that person, or it could be someone completely new. Take that however it connects. Yeah, I feel like you are about to experience a major breakthrough in something in your life that you felt creatively frustrated about for a while. With Magician reversed and the Ace of Wands, I feel like there's been something in your life where you've just felt delayed or like it's not happening, and there's going to be some major breakthrough in this direction or major progress forward. So I am going to pull a few more cards on what this big breakthrough could be for you. But if you are in a connection or experience where you aren't hearing from someone and you would like to manifest contact or communication from them in the physical world, I would really recommend trying out my new Break No Contact Subliminal in my Subliminals app, Sound and Soulful. This really is one of the most powerful ones I've created so far. I've already gotten several comments from some of you who are using it already. And one comment said that you had the person that you wanted to contact you reach out to you by the end of listening to the track once, which I thought was amazing. Another one of you said that they reached out the next day. For one of you listening, you said you had several past friends and relatives and people reach out to you very quickly. Personally, I had a similar experience where I was listening to this to test it before putting it into the app. And within 48 hours, I had 3 different people reach out that were connected to my past, people that I haven't heard from in a while and really was surprised to hear from. So give it a try, see how it works for you. You can try it out for free when you create a free trial account in my app, and the link to get the app is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay, so I feel like whatever this breakthrough is, although it's going to feel sudden in the moment, it's something that you've actually been working towards for a very long time. You've been not just physically taking action steps towards, although I see that involved as well, but it's something, it's almost like the energy I'm getting here is like you envision something for a really long time and you keep asking the universe for it and you're imagining it and you're maybe saying affirmations about it or, manifesting it and nothing's really happening and you're frustrated. But then all of a sudden it happens and it comes in so effortlessly or so suddenly that you think, wait, could it have been this easy all along? Or maybe you think, can I trust this? Like, it's so shocking that you wonder if you're dreaming, if it's some kind of fluke. And this is really reminding me of some major downloads I was getting this morning. I wish I had my notebook right here. I may have to do a second video just to share more of those downloads I got in meditation soon on the channel. So if you want to stay tuned for that, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when I post that video. But I was really channeling through a lot of quotes, specifically from the spiritual teacher 𝗬liche𝗿𝗀 about staying in the state of the wish fulfilled and not doubting your manifestations when they come in, like believing it when it happens and continuing to allow what he referred to as the bridge of incidents to unfold. And in 𝗬liche𝗿𝗀's teachings, the bridge of incidences was a series of events orchestrated by the universe that bring about the materialization of your desire that seem logical and believable on the surface, but that the mind has a tendency to write off as coincidence. And he cautioned about when this bridge of incidences happens, because you've made a shift in your own subconscious, because you've manifested something, because you've impressed something on your subconscious mind, there is this tendency to see that logical chain of events that then happens to bring about your desire, and then to say, oh, it must have been coincidental or accidental, or this would have happened anyway. But I'm just hearing this strong message of both trusting the unfolding, staying in the energy of your desire, like continuing to imagine yourself as the person who has manifested your desire, continuing to build that momentum even as it's unfolding. And also when it fully comes in, to recognize that you are the one who did this, that this was something you manifested, and to embrace it like that rather than writing it off as coincidence, because I feel like there's going to be something huge that comes into your life or that starts unfolding. And this video is almost coming in because there's going to be this tendency to doubt it, like whether it's a person or an amount of money or a new business endeavor. I feel like there's going to be this doubt, like, can I really believe that this is meant for me or that this can happen for me? But then it's going to unfold like magic as you surrender into it, as you allow yourself to believe in your own worthiness of this and your ability to sustain it, because you've worked for this, meaning energetically, spiritually, you've manifested this into being. So I don't know who this video was for. I really hope it reached you. If it was for you, I would love to hear from you in the comments if anything here connected for you personally. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You can also check out my channeled songs and music under my artist name, Songs by 𝗫𝗫𝗍. My very first channeled song is out now. It's called Go On to New York, and the second one is going to release very soon. So you can follow my Spotify to be the first to know when I post new music, and my Spotify is linked in the description box. And of course, if you want to try out my Break No Contact Subliminal to manifest movement forward or communication with a specific person in your life, then the link to get the app for free and try it out is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day and weekend, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.